the region. John Donnison, BBC News.
Well, for more on this, I'm now joined by my colleague from BBC Arabic, Saeed Shehata. Saeed, we're still yet to know who was behind the attack or what caused it exactly, but what more are you hearing from the ground there in Gaza City?
There is like two stories or two sides of the story. The Arab on both formal and informal levels, street, ordinary people on social media, and the officials like President of Egypt, the King Abdullah of Jordan, and all of these officials, all of them condemning Israel and saying Israel is behind the attack. And some of them, like Hamas, called it like a war crime or describe it as a war crime. On the other side, Israel saying it's the Palestinian Islamic Jihad behind that misfire rocket. So there is two sides of the story, and it still need to be verified who done that. But the problem is the outcome of it. At least 500 people died, according to the Ministry of Health in Gaza. So it's disastrous. And the situation there is bad because it shelters the hospital, like other facilities, shelters the people coming from the north, because Gaza Strip is very small, so to move there, density is very high. So it was considered as a safe place. But now people are suspicious and they start thinking, where can we go? So it's a problematic and put pressure on politicians to find a solution as soon as they can, or sooner than later, because the repercussions is immense.
And Saeed, it was already a difficult humanitarian situation for people in Gaza, hospitals struggling to find medicine to treat patients. What kind of help is getting to the people affected by this blast at the hospital?
The problem is little help, because according to the World Health Organization, WHO, saying even some like health facilities were targeted by airstrikes, and some of the medical staff killed. In addition to that, there is no food, or the shortage of food, and all the hope of to find a solution. If like President Biden maybe find a solution to open a humanitarian corridor through Rafah, because there is many trucks of aid waiting on the border, needing the approval of Israel to go through. I think it's urgently needed, because people dying, they face like difficulties in finding food or water, they queuing, and some of them like came on social media saying like, even we are going to go back to the north again because we can't find food, we can't find even safety, which we took the hardship to go there from north to the south. So now we should go back home. At least we have like some stuff to live on in our home.
Yes, and Saeed, President Biden is expected in Israel in just the next few hours. What do you think people in the Arab world who are really angry about this attack, we've seen protests over it, what would people in the Arab world want to see from President Biden today? I
think the need from President Biden, first of all, is to open the corridor, the humanitarian corridor, because this will be the first step. Second step, I think, is a statement of like he's outraged by what happened. I think it's sympathy, but I think the Arab world on both the people level and official levels, they need some more from President Biden to put like trying to put convincing Israel to stop like the airstrikes in some areas in order to pave the way to some negotiation. And even he might like mention that like we might like resume the talks, the negotiation about talking about a future of Palestinian state, because this the whole Arab world looking for a Palestinian state in order to achieve peace, because this the whole like belief in the Arab world is the only way for them to do that. Will Israel officials respond to that? I think this will, Mr. Biden should like do that, and they have a big burden in his shoulder to do that with Israeli officials.
Saeed Shehata from BBC Arabic, thank you very much for joining us this morning.